This is part one of a lesson on proving triangles congruent. In this video, we're going to just review stating that triangles are congruent, making that congruent statement, and lining up corresponding parts. So this will be the simple background part that will lay the groundwork for part two, where we have our introduction to two-column proofs, and that will be fun. Alright, for problem number one, we just need to complete this congruence statement. So triangle OGD is congruent to triangle what? Well, looking at how these are marked, it should be pretty easy. Angle O is marked congruent to angle P. So we started with O, so in the second triangle we'll start with P. Next comes G, which is a 90-degree angle, which is R. And that leaves D, which is the same as C. So that's number one. Alright, for number two, we have to be a tiny bit more careful. The angles themselves are not marked congruent, so we have to use the sides. So let's see. First we have angle R. Now, angle R is formed by the triple and the double marked side, the triple and the double. So we look at this triangle, and let's look for the triple and the double. The triple and the double form angle O, so that's going to be first. Angle A is formed by the single and the triple. So here the single and the triple, that's E. And that leaves C, which is formed by the single and the double. The single and the double, that's G. So that's number two. Alright, number three, angle L is the double marked angle. So that's going to start us off with angle E. And then angle I is marked single, and that's A. Alright, so we've done E and A, so that means the third one must be R, which makes sense because it's the 90-degree angle just like N. So that's number three. Alright, it should be pretty easy when the angles are marked congruent like this. Angle F starts us off. That's the triple mark. That's angle B. Then we go to O, and O here is marked single, and that's going to correspond with angle X, which is single. Alright, so in this triangle we've done, well, I guess it's this triangle, we've done B and X, so that leaves O. Alright, notice that even though these are both O, they show up in different positions in the congruent statement. Alright, number five. Let's complete this congruence statement. So we have triangle FGH is congruent to triangle, and we have to say the letters in the proper order. So let's see. Angle F, this point is not only shared between both triangles, but the angle is marked congruent for both triangles. So we will start off the second triangle with F as well. But then in this triangle we go to angle G, the 90-degree angle, which will be angle E in the other triangle. So we have FE. So FEI. And the first triangle has H, so it makes sense because they're both double. So triangle FEI. Now if we write the triangle this way, EFI. Okay, EFI is this triangle over here. And so that would be the same thing as GFH. Okay, specifically angle G is congruent to angle E in the other triangle, both 90 degrees. And angle H is congruent to angle I in the other triangle. Okay, and then we've got a little bit more over here. Let's do segments. Segment FG Okay, so here's segment FG, and that's congruent to segment FE. Alright, they're both the double marked. Segment GH is congruent to segment EI. And segment FH, okay, is the hypotenuse, and that's congruent to segment FI. So that's number 5. Alright, looking at the congruent statement in number 6, angle E is first, angle H is first. So angle E must be congruent to angle H. Looking at segment FI, alright, in the first triangle FI, they are the second two, so that must be congruent to segment GI, which are the second two. Okay, how about segment FE? Alright, segment FE, those are the first two, so that must be congruent to segment HG, or GH if I kept it in the same order. That doesn't matter. Okay, how about angle FIE? Okay, the main thing is the I. Okay, when you do a three-letter name for an angle, the middle letter is the vertex. Okay, so focus on the I. Well, in both cases, the I is last. So when we say FIE, we're talking about this first triangle, FIE. So that's going to be the same thing as GIH. Okay, which really I could have said HIG and it would have been the same thing. Alright, but I has to be in the middle. So FIE is like GIH. Alright, now up here we have angle EFI. Alright, the F in the middle is the most important part, EFI. So EFI, that's like 1, 2, 3. So let's just name it the same way, like 1, 2, 3. So that would be HGI. Okay, G is really the vertex of the angle, and that's what, whoa, I think I meant to put I on the end, not a second H. Alright, and finally, segment IE. Okay, I and E are the last and first. So that will be congruent to I and H in the other triangle, segment IH. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video. Now obviously that was pretty simple, but the point of that was to get us comfortable with noticing which parts are congruent, whether we're looking at a congruent statement or whether we're given a picture. And this is going to leave us ready to tackle two-column proofs in the next video. So I'll see you on the next video. Let's have an introduction to two-column proofs.